Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Hello, everyone, and welcome to FPL, mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2020. Let's move that along a bit. 21 season. My name is Dan, and sorry. Um, I'm on a wild card. My name is Dan, and I'm on a wild card. Welcome to this deadline stream for Gameweek 31. I am very much on a wild card. I am very much not fully decided on my wild card team. However, I can tell you this. What you see on screen right now is where I'm at. Glance your eyes over that one for a minute, guys. Tell me what you think about that. Who have we got in the chat today? Let's have a look. Who's saying hello? Michael Ferry, Anis, Just Pran, Adam Pearce. Yeah, loads of people. Loads of you. Nice to see you guys. Always nice to see you guys on a deadline stream. And hopefully, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, I streamed on Monday with some of my first initial wildcard thoughts. Hello, Jonathan. How you doing, mate? I did it on Monday, and then I made a wildcard video yesterday, which was what I really thought. I really thought I was going to go with the team I had yesterday. But then again, you guys kind of helped me a little bit. You influenced me a little bit. And I kind of took some of the comments on board, and basically it ended up with me kind of thinking, well, okay, yes, I do need to perhaps just explore trying to improve my defence a little bit. But who am I going to sacrifice? Because someone would have to be sacrificed. I kind of thought, well, who can I sacrifice? Who out of these players is the player that I don't really want that much? And I kind of looked at who I would be captaining each week from game week 31 all the way to game week 38. Who would I captain each game? And it turned out that there's not a single game week where I want to captain Bruno Fernandes. So for that reason, it made me think, okay, maybe Bruno Fernandes could be sacrificed because I'm not going to captain him at any point this season. It's a lot of money to spend on a player that you're not gonna captain. You may as well spread the money out a little bit. So I thought let's do that. So I downgraded Bruno Fernandes down to Rashford, and then I upgraded Fofana to Castan. I upgraded Holding to Cedric, and I upgraded someone else, Veltman, up to Shaw. So that's three defenders upgraded there, which works quite nicely. Sterling remains in the team. He's not going anywhere, and you cannot convince me otherwise. If you ask me who my captain is, it's going to be Sterling. I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure, unless I change it at the last minute, it's going to be Sterling captain. You know, this is a kind of a ride or die type captain, Raheem Sterling, because he's the kind of player where you can captain him. He can score 2 goals, maybe 2 goals and an assist, something crazy like that. And it's literally going to revolutionise my whole game week because it's such a differential. I don't think there's an obvious pick this game week. If I had to pick someone else, I'd probably go for Salah. But I'm not even 100% sure on that. I think there is different options, isn't there? So, yeah, not fully sure. TGG said, Fernandes captain opportunity versus Leeds. Yes, but Salah goes against Burnley that week, which I quite like the look of. In fact, I probably like that look of that a little bit more because Salah's going for the Golden Boot. Sort of Manchester United are going to be prioritising the Europa League, whereas Liverpool, they've got to get into the top 4, really. So, yeah. So yeah, we've upgraded the defence a little bit. Cedric's an interesting one because Tierney's going to be injured. Maybe not till the end of the season, but certainly he's not going to be back before game week 37. So that gives me a good sort of 5 game weeks of Cedric playing at left back. And when Cedric plays, his numbers are actually really good. When he's on the pitch, when he's actually playing, he's been pretty tasty. We're looking at his numbers. It looks quite nice. You know, a little bit of creativity, you know, shooting probably on average once per game, once per 90 minutes anyway. So he could be nice. There's not really anyone else who's going to play left back for Arsenal. So a few people have said, oh, maybe Saka goes and plays left back for Arsenal. Can't see it happening. I really can't see Saka playing at left back. Not anymore. Maybe the odd game, maybe if there's a 5 at the back, then it might happen. But no, I'm not sure about that. So yeah, we've got a lot of differentials. I think the Leicester defence is differential. Liverpool defence is still a bit differential. Arsenal defence is going to be differential because the only real Arsenal defender that people were really invested in before was Tierney. Maybe some people have got Holding now, but it's still very differential. Spurs defence is going to be differential as well. Not many people have Spurs defenders, which is fine by me. Apologies, guys. I am still a little bit ill. So you're going to have to bear with me a little bit. Iheanacho, differential. Rashford is an interesting one. That's going to be quite nice. Sterling, I'm just most looking forward to just captaining him for this game week. Can you put your start in 11, please? Well, I haven't actually locked in these transfers yet, so maybe I should do that now. Who am I going to lose value on by making these transfers? I think it's just Bruno Fernandes, but I really don't want him. And De Bruyne, but I don't want De Bruyne either. So, okay, let's lock this in then. Yeah, it was just those 3 players who I haven't transferred yet because I know I lose value on each of them. I lose about 0.1 on De Bruyne and Fernandes and 0.3 or something on Martinez. But no, I'm pretty set on this, so I'm just going to confirm it. Let's get it done, and then we can actually line up a little bit. I'll show you guys what I'm kind of thinking. So let's give you vice captain. Let's give you captain. Exciting times ahead. And then would that be the correct order? Yes, it would. And that's how we'd line up, like that, which I think looks really nice. What do you guys think? It's a bit wacky, isn't it? Sidaf says, curious why he didn't invest in Trent Alexander-Arnold instead of upgrading 3 defenders. Just because he's so expensive. You know, we're talking about taking a defender and adding 2 million to them. You've taken a good defender as well and adding 2 million to him. And I don't know if I can justify it, to be honest. It would mean taking out Phillips, who is my enabler. So I would have to lose my enabler. For those of you guys who haven't got Jota or Salah, one or the other, then maybe you could go for Salah. Or if you haven't got Phillips or you're not interested in Phillips, then maybe you can go for Trent Alexander-Arnold. But Phillips is just such a good budget enabler that it makes such a difference for going for him rather than Trent Alexander-Arnold, because it really does allow me to do so much more. I would consider bringing in Trent, but probably not till a little bit later on in the season. We got a super chat, which is awesome. Hi Dan, is this from Siddharth? Hi Dan, need to do Gundo to Jota. Not enough funds. Have to swap a defender for Nat Phillips. Who should I get rid of? Target, Cancelo, or Creswell? Honestly, probably not going to like this, but well, you've got 2 choices really. Cancelo, I think, plays this game week, which is problematic. If we're talking about this game week, then I definitely would want Cancelo. Well, I probably would want Cancelo out of those 3. And on the other hand, Creswell, I don't think he's keeping a clean sheet this game week. In fact, in general, I don't think West Ham are going to keep too many clean sheets. They're attacking-wise, they look pretty good. But defensive-wise, they haven't looked that good, actually. Cough sweet. Yeah, defensively, West Ham have not looked amazing. And there's also the kind of impression that Creswell could go into like the left centre-back role. Masuaku takes the left wing-back position. So Creswell could find himself slightly less useful. He's not going to get you clean sheets. That many clean sheets, especially with Declan Rice gone. Defensive numbers bad already. I would not want West Ham defenders right now, personally. Unless it's like a budget option. And Creswell is not a budget option. He's quite expensive. So it could be a move to actually get rid of him. But Cancelo, you're not going to want for game week 33. Probably not going to want Cancelo long term either. Because Cancelo, yes, fair enough, he plays this game week. But Cancelo's priority competition is probably going to be Champions League, you would have said. There's going to be a bit of rotation. A lot of rotation, in fact. So, Cancelo, beware. So yeah, there is that. You could just, I mean, right now you could get rid of City players completely. This game week is the last good game week for City players, I guess, only because we can kind of predict who's going to play and who's not. Maybe we'll be able to predict it again next game week when they play Aston Villa. But it's becoming really risky, and I would look to not have too many Man City players in your team, to be honest. Diaz is probably pretty safe, but even in game week 33, he doesn't even play. It's a tricky one. So, I mean, a few people are still asking about Wolves defenders. I'll talk about that again. I know I've talked about Wolves defenders a lot this week, but I'll carry on. I guess one of my, I guess a differential in a way is me not going for any Wolves players. I'm kind of gambling on Wolves not doing very well, and honestly, I don't have that much faith in Wolves. I really don't. Their performances have been really bad. They've been conceding far too many shots. They're actually overperforming their expected stats. You know, that game against West Ham, the 3 goals they conceded was a better reflection of where they are at, in my opinion. I think they are a pretty weak defence right now, to be honest. And they, you know, you watch them and it doesn't inspire confidence. So you've got that. Well, the fixtures are good, and I know that's why people want to go for Wolves players, is because the fixtures are good. But are the fixtures actually good? Because when we get to this stage in the season, we need to start looking at who has got something to play for and who doesn't. Which is why I've gone for someone like Salah, because he has a lot to play for compared to Bruno. It's pretty, for a lot of people, it's going to be a decision of Salah versus Bruno. With Wolves, they have nothing to play for. They're not going to get relegated. They're not going to get European football. They are just waiting until next season when they've got Jimenez back and they can have another crack at the Premier League. This is a nothing season. They're probably going to start rotating maybe towards the end of the season. And these easy fixtures that they've got, we're talking about these easy fixtures are teams that have everything to play for. They really do have everything to play for because they are playing for their lives. They are playing for their livelihoods. Because if they get relegated, that could be career over for so many people. So they have got so much to play for. These are super important games for all of these easy teams and not very important games for Wolves. So in that respect, you can say, oh, Wolves have good fixtures, so that makes up for them being bad. But then maybe the fixtures aren't so good. So now we have Wolves who are in terrible, terrible form, doing really badly, conceding far too many chances. They're playing teams that are actually going to be quite good, you know, or at least, you know, putting a good old shift in. Wolves are going to be on the beach. You would expect Wolves' form doesn't improve. Do you really think Wolves' form is they're going to get better towards the end of the season? Why would they? So yeah, that's basically my opinion on that, and I just would not be confident at all in going for Wolves players. I don't think there's any need to go for Wolves players. They're not exactly cheap either. You know, a lot of people are looking at sort of Semedo, for example. Expensive player. Cody, 4.8 million. Not exactly cheap. Maybe you say Neto is a cheap option. I would agree with that. Tanmay said, what's your transfers plan for the next 2 or 3 game weeks? So, Sterling will go to Heung-min Son the next game week for the double. So I've got 3 Spurs players for the double game week. Kane, Son and Sanchez. Then game week 33, I've got a couple of options. So I can either take out Sanchez, I can take out Son, or if I want to, I can also upgrade Vidra to maybe Ollie Watkins. And that's really going to depend on the announcements of fixtures, really. I mean, I was also thinking maybe going to Son to Grealish in game week 33 and actually Son being another 1 week punt. But yeah, no, that's really going to depend on you know, injuries, fitness of players, rescheduled fixtures. I'm pretty flexible. But I know that next week it will be Sterling out and Son in, unless, you know, Rashford gets injured or something, or Salah gets injured, and then perhaps I'll take them out and put in Son instead and do something like that. You know, there's flexibility here. Matthew Hood says, Dan, I'm telling you, Sanchez isn't going to play. A few people have said that. A few people have said Sanchez isn't going to play, and they are... They are Spurs fans that don't like Sanchez. But I've spoken to some other Spurs fans, and they'll say, "Oh, Sanchez will play every game." It's a fact that Sanchez is playing 90 minutes every single game. Every single game for months now. He's playing every single game. He's pretty nailed on. You could say, "Oh, he had a bad game last game." Who didn't? Reguilon had an absolutely terrible game. Rodon played okay. Okay, I say okay. But, is he going to play twice in a double game week, Rodon? I don't think so. Reguilon probably won't. I think Davies will be back fit by that point, so he'll rotate with Reguilon. Right back, who knows? That's going to be rotation station over there, isn't it? There's going to be, Tanganga might play one, Aurier might play the other, something like that. Don't think Doherty will be back. So, yeah, it's going to be all over the place. And I think Sanchez is genuinely the most likely player to play both games. And maybe I'm wrong, we'll see. But, I'm taking that gamble. If I had to guess which one Spurs player would play both of those games, then there you go. A few people saying, why did you get Rashford if he could be injured? I don't know if any of you guys watched my buy, sell, keep, avoid video this game week, where I introduced the new phrase that is called the Dorito effect. The Dorito effect, where everyone sees a little yellow exclamation mark triangle and gets terrified and is fearful. Guys, the yellow triangle with an exclamation mark just indicates, there's a possibility that they won't play. Not that they're not going to play, not that they're injured, that there's a possibility. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said now that he thinks Rashford is going to play. He should be back. He should be fine. That's pretty good for me. Same with Luke Shaw. He was taken off as a precaution. He should be back. He should be fine. So, you can look at these Doritos of death, and you can be fearful, or you could read up, see what the actual situation is, and go, hey, I fancy a little go on that one. And I do fancy a little go on that one. I fancy a little go on Rashford. I really do. And if it doesn't, if he can't play for whatever reason, then I've got Vidra on the bench anyway, and everyone's a happy bunny indeed. So, yeah. Jackie Boy had a Dorito too. Yes, he did, but his manager literally told us that he's not going to play. Whereas Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said the opposite. Asmi Fadley says, how about Sterling for captain? Well, look at the screen, dude. Look at the screen. You'll see everything there on the screen. Terence says, best defender as a punt for this week. I'd probably go for Marcus Alonso again, to be honest, as a Dorito. As a Dorito, as a 1 week punt. Well, I'm thinking about Doritos now. Thinking about the Doritos of death everywhere. Mahrez or Lingard? Go for Lingard. I don't think Mahrez is going to play tomorrow, if I'm honest. Who to captain? Jota, Bruno, Kane or Gundo? I'm not going to lie, I don't really like any of those. I guess you could go for Jota. I guess. But there's nothing that stands out there, is there? Yeah, I think, this is going to be an interesting captain game week, which is why I'm fine going for a differential like Sterling this game week, because I think if Sterling plays, if we find out tomorrow morning, 11:30 a.m. GMT, Raheem Sterling starts against Leeds, then instantly he becomes the best captain option, in my opinion. Instantly. You could possibly say the same with De Bruyne. If we find out tomorrow that De Bruyne plays, he's starting the game, then he instantly becomes the best captain. I truly believe that. Now, before we know the lineups, perhaps actually, okay, we'll perhaps say Salah's the best captain because we can confidently predict that he is going to play. But if Sterling does play, that's a season changer, and I want season changes. Sex74 says, Aubameyang for this week only on the Euros. On the Euros, he played 12 minutes. Yeah, he didn't start, did he? Only came on at the end. Also, Sheffield United, most of their defence are injured. Yeah, it could be interesting. It's a risky one. If I'm honest, when we're talking about 1 week punts, I could have gone for Aubameyang. I think for 1 week only, I genuinely do prefer Sterling. I think if money is not an issue and you want a 1 week punt, Raheem Sterling seems the one for me, which is why I've gone for him. It's why I've captained him, because I think he could be a really interesting 1 week punt. And the reason I go for Sterling is because he hasn't actually started a game since the international break. He's like fully rested, played no minutes midweek. Pep's already said that he's going to play fresh players against Leeds. That makes sense. Every time Man City play the Champions League, they make a lot of changes going into their Premier League games. So there'll be loads of changes. Raheem Sterling is the player I would say is most likely to start out of the typically rotated players. I think he's got a better chance of starting than KDB, a better chance of starting than Gundogan, better chance of starting than Mahrez, better chance of starting than probably Aguero and Jesus. Though I would be tempted to take a 1 week punt on Aguero as well, if that's an option to you. So, yeah, it's an interesting shout. Aubameyang is an interesting shout, but I do prefer Sterling. And, you know, if you can afford Aubameyang, you can afford Sterling, can't you? So perhaps go there instead. I did get another super chat, didn't I? Have I lost it? Here it is. Mr. Venom says, can't afford Sterling. Who else is there or keeps on? If you're going to switch back to Son anyway, and there's no one you really want, then perhaps that's a sign that you should probably just keep Son. Like, I do get the desire to go for a 1 week punt, and Son is a lot of money to spend on a player that you're perhaps not fully confident in this week. But who do you really think is going to outscore them that costs the same or less than Son? Maybe Maddison, maybe Mason Mount. But is it worth it at that point? Sterling, I think it's worth it. One, because I think it could be huge. It could be a season changer. And two, because I'm captaining him. It really could be big. I mean, it could go both ways. But you've got to take the risk, haven't you? You've got to take a chance. Like, you know, guys, I've for the last 2 months, I've been playing very aggressively, not making obvious choices and trying to basically outsmart the template. And generally speaking, it's worked. You know, in the last 10 game weeks, I've gone from maybe 600,000th rank to 142,000th rank, which is really quite an improvement. I really do wish I had a better start to the season, because we'd be flying right now. We really would, because it really has gone so well over the last 10 game weeks. Generally speaking. And with this wildcard, it's just going to get better and better. I think I'm, you know, destined for the top 100k maybe next game week. But it could be if Sterling goes right. You know, Sterling could occasionally pulls out, you know, like a 16-point haul. Man, that's going to be crazy on a game week like this. When so many people are going to have blanking captains because there's no obvious captain pick. Jordan Davies says, love the content. Would you go for Fofana or Rudiger? Already have Mendy. I would go for Fofana. Fofana is a really good shout, which is why he was in my video yesterday. And I do want to alert a lot of you guys to him, because Fofana's like 0.4% owned. His ownership is super, super low. It really is really low. And for no good reason. People just have skipped him in many ways. 5 million. He plays every single game week when he's fit. So he's definitely a great option. If you look through the games that Fofana's missed, it's always because he's been injured. He plays. Brendan Rodgers obviously has a lot of confidence in him. And he's 5 million, and people don't realise this. So you kind of can lock in that Leicester clean sheet for relatively cheap. 5 million. Good defence as well, Leicester. kind of like the only way, well, the best way into the Leicester defence since James Justin. I mean, I've gone slightly more premium with Castan, hoping I can get some assists potentially. Maybe the odd goal. We'll see. Where are you going? Right, anything interesting going on in the chat? DCL captain. You know what? Actually, I will talk about this because a few people have like messaged me this week about DCL, about transferring it in DCL, like captain in DCL. Guys, you should know by now. Brighton are not a bad defence. We've been over this, haven't we? You guys know. Yeah, Brighton are a good defence. You know, and Everton are struggling to score right now as well. So I really don't think I'd be wanting to go for... I don't think I'd want to attack the Brighton fixture with Everton players. Not at all, even with DCL. So no, forget about DCL. Don't bring him in. Don't captain him. If you have him already, then fine. But other than that, you know, that's nothing to get excited about. I don't think so anyway. You know, obviously anything can happen, but it's not something I'm getting excited about at all. I'm not going into this game week thinking, oh damn, I wish I had Dominic Calvert-Lewin against Brighton. I'm fine without having him. I really am. Sex74 says Sanchez or Reguilon if I can afford. The thing is, I think Davies is going to be back by the time we get to the double game week, which means Reguilon's only going to play one out of those 2 games. He's not going to play both, which I know it just makes things annoyingly difficult. Reguilon has got a much higher ceiling. He can get assists, potentially. And you're saying that, Sanchez gets the odd headed goal, doesn't he, from a corner or something. Yeah, it's a difficult one. If you think Sanchez is going to play both games, which I personally do, then go for Sanchez. If you think Reguilon, well, both of them are only going to play one game, perhaps, then go for Reguilon instead, if you can afford it. We may as well. Chris Freddy... Welcome to the chat, Chris Frey. Nice to see you, man. Go for Castan or Sanchez now. Thinking about double game week later. It's a difficult one, really. When I put in Sanchez, you know, I have to accept that it is a risk. I'm sort of betting on the fact that Sanchez will play 2 games in one game week. I don't know for 100% if that is going to happen or not. You can follow my predictions that he's going to play both and bet on Sanchez, but a lot of people will tell you something very different. This is just one man's opinion. It could go wrong, it could go right. I'm hoping it will go right. If I had to choose one out of Castan or Sanchez, then that's slightly more difficult. Perhaps I do actually go for Castan in that case, because it is a safer pick, really, isn't it? And Leicester do have some good fixtures. Castan does get forward a bit. Assist potential, goal potential. Gets a lot of bonus points as well. Or points in the bonus point system anyway. So he's got that string to his bow as well. So Castan is probably the safer pick. But Sanchez, you're kind of punting on the fact that he'll play twice in the double game week, which gives you an extra... you know, an extra way of getting involved in those lovely points. Mohamed Belhoul says, would you rather captain Trent or Kane? Probably Trent, to be fair. That could be an interesting captain this game week. But Kane is Kane. Hello, why not Vedra over Lingard on this game week? Because it's Lingard, man. Come on. I mean, yeah, I have thought about it. And honestly, I could even do it. But it's Lingard. He's magical. He's magical. Stretchface says 2 Doritos of death. Yep. Don't get fooled by the Dorito effect, guys. The Doritos of death are nothing to... They're just mild. They're mild, flavourless, lightly salted Doritos of death. They're not cheesy Doritos. They're not flaming hot Doritos. Just plain. And as such, there's not a great deal to worry about, guys. Don't worry. Guitaria1999. Nice to see you again, bro. Hey Dan, hope you're doing well. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Excited about this wild card. Should I go for Christensen or Rudiger? Also, should I get rid of Diaz and for maybe Castan? I'm assuming you're on a wild card. I would go for Rudiger over Christensen the more I think about it, because Christensen typically will rotate with Thiago Silva, and I think when Thiago Silva is back, he's going to be the main guy, whereas the other rotation is Rudiger and Zuma. That's the other rotation, left centre-back, and Rudiger is actually preferred to Zuma there, so which should in theory mean that Rudiger gets more game time, right? He played in the Champions League, so I think he is favoured. Unless there's rotation in the league, I'm not sure that will be, because Chelsea still do have to secure top 4. So Rudiger is one I would prefer out of Christensen and Rudiger at this point. I've changed my mind on that one, I know. And maybe get rid of Diaz for maybe Castan. If you're on a wild card and you can just do all this for free, then yeah, go for it, man. For sure. For this game week alone, I would probably prefer Diaz to Castan. But thereafter, Castan does look pretty nice. I mean, Castan could go quite well because Antonio's out. That's going to give West Ham a little bit less up front, I guess. So I wonder. That's kind of up to you, Diaz or Castan. I would probably, if possible, I would keep Diaz for one more game week if you're not on a wild card. If you're on a wild card, then okay, yeah, have a think about how you could do that. How you could do that. Can you cover Castan for one game week maybe, or what are your other defenders? Kind of have a look like that. Chris Freddy, thanks for the opinion. Get well, mate. We need you until the end, bro. Oh, I'll be here. You know, even if I am literally having to stream from in bed, snuggled up in a duvet, tissues like up my nostrils because my nose won't stop streaming, I'll be here. Dan Cross says, what about Vidra over Iheanacho? No, I do rate Iheanacho for this game week. I really do. West Ham have sort of been leaking goal scoring opportunities, and Iheanacho has been getting a lot of goal scoring opportunities. So that's not really what I'm something I'd be interested in. Lingard, I would consider. Maybe I've got a bit of bias, a bit of favour towards Lingard, which is preventing me from putting Vidra on, but I would definitely consider it. For sure. L14 says, why not KDB? Because I really think he's a rotation risk for this game week. I really do. What else have we got here? Why Cedric over Holding? Basically, just attacking potential, really. Cedric going forward has been pretty good typically this season when he has played. I think he's got an assist at one point this season. He picked up 3 bonus points. Did quite well in other competitions. I think, did he score in another competition? I can't remember what one it was. He's got potential. Why bench Shaw? Because I think Manchester United will concede. Probably. Lewis Ball says, Dan, should I use my triple captain on Kane next week? Now that for sure is definitely what you should do. If you still get a triple captain, just bang it on Kane next week. Don't even think about it. No point overthinking that one. Labil says, the fun of FPL is having players you like, and let me tell you, I definitely do like Lingard. So and I do find it very fun to own Lingard. And I tell you what, some of the other people, the Lingard critics, have not been enjoying Lingard absolutely popping off, and I've been loving it. It's been exciting. It has. Will Cedric start over Holding? No, Cedric will start at left back. Tierney's sort of injured right until game week 37, so that means Cedric is going to fill in at left back for a while now. You know, sort of 5 game weeks minimum. There's no one else who's going to play there realistically. So Cedric is going to be pretty much nailed on 90 minutes a game for the rest of the season, which is, well, not for the rest of the season, but at least until the final 2 game weeks, which is going to be very nice. Going to be very nice indeed. Like I said, when he's on the pitch, he's been pretty good. Someone says, start Vidra, Castan, Son or Sanchez. I would start with Vidra out of those, or Son. I'd start Vidra or Son, back to the attacker. Rafinha to Salah. If you can do Rafinha to Salah, then go for it, dude. So Harsh says, why not double Chelsea defence? I don't know if I need to do double Chelsea defence, because I feel like I would back myself into a bit of a corner there, because Chelsea's fixtures are good in the immediate term, but they do have some difficult games remaining this season. Have they got sort of Man City? They've got Arsenal left, I think. They've got, who else have they got? They've got a few tricky games left anyway. And I'm worried by that point I'll kind of be in a little bit of trouble. But I did think about doing it. I strongly considered it, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. It can be done, and I think it's definitely not a bad idea. Definitely not. In fact, it's arguably a good idea to have double Chelsea defence. But I didn't really feel like it, to be honest. There's other players that I slightly preferred. I prefer to go for someone interesting like Cedric, someone interesting like Castan, Shaw, Sanchez. These are kind of interesting picks, And I'm trying to get away from the template a little bit, and Wildcard gives you the opportunity to do that and just pick players that you think will do well. And I think I can be pretty differential from here to the end of the season. I know probably Wildcarders are going to have a similar setup up front. We're going to have a lot of Kane and Iheanachos up front. We're going to have a lot of Salahs and Josses and Lingards, I guess. But there's still enough here for it to be differential, for sure. Apologies, guys. Is captaining Iheanacho insane? It's a little bit insane. It's not completely insane. Cody or Fofana? Definitely Fofana for me. Definitely Fofana. Worth getting rid of Bamford for Vidra? I don't think so, no. Ferran Torres as a 1 week punt? Potentially, yeah, that could be an interesting one. I don't think his ceiling is quite as high as someone like Sterling, though. But it's an interesting one. I mean, I'll never tell you to back away with something that's interesting. It has potential. Could be exciting, Jota, Sterling or Orba? Sterling for me. Sterling, captain 2, nice. Why Sanchez over Reguilon? Davies out. I think Davies is due back on the double game week. So he was going to be out for up to 3 weeks. And that was 2 weeks ago when that was said. Of course, it's sounding rough, mate. Thanks for braving the stream. No worries. Hopefully, I'm still audible, still listenable, MUFC fan says, where is Bruno? Of course, the Man United fan says that. I just didn't fancy him. I didn't fancy him. I'm not going to captain Bruno Fernandes for the rest of the season. I think Bruno Fernandes is a really boring pick, if I'm honest. And if I was happy with my rank, I would definitely be putting Bruno Fernandes in my team. 100%. Bruno would be in my team, but I'm going off script, I guess. Rashford, this game against Spurs, quite nice. We're talking about, I mean, assuming that he does play, I really do think he is. We're talking about a player who is going to be getting in behind, attacking on the counter attack or whatever, and he's going to be targeting either Serge Aurier or Japhet Tanganga. Rashford matching up against Aurier or Tanganga. That sounds like a good matchup to me, if I'm honest. So I think Rashford could do the business, even against Spurs. Sounding more rugged, yeah. Take that. I'll take that. You will come back to Bruno soon. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, honestly, yeah, very possibly. I might regret this and go back. But for now, let's see what Rashford can do. I do think Rashford covers Bruno a little bit. When Bruno hauls, typically Rashford will be hauling as well. Not quite as many points. And of course, as I always say, last time I dropped Bruno out of my team, which to be fair, dropping Bruno out of my team for the last 3 game weeks has gone pretty well. But last time I dropped him out of my team, I said the only thing that's going to make a difference is a penalty. Of course, he scored a penalty against Manchester City that game week. But other than that, I didn't really fancy him that much. And he's not really done much. All competitions outside of penalties. So as long as Manchester United keep getting penalties, then they're going to do the business. Is Antonio out? Yes, he is. Why Castan over Fofana? Castan has a higher ceiling, a much higher ceiling. Pepe, a good 1 week punt. It's an interesting 1 week punt. It's another one of those ones where it's interesting. It could go well. It could also go badly. In fact, it's more than likely it will go badly, but I'm not going to tell you that's a bad shout because I like interesting picks. I like it when, trying to do something a little bit different. You should be brave enough to go for a differential, and try something different. Particularly if you're trying to chase rank and boost yourself up a little bit and try and improve where you're at. Why not? This is the differential rank chasing channel, which is going well. I think it's going well. It could go even better this game week. It's an exciting one, a really exciting one. Sterling for Bruno. No, Sterling's staying and he's my captain. You're not getting rid of Sterling that easily. Cody or Rudiger for long term? Probably Rudiger. Rashford ahead of Son for this game week, yeah. Fofana versus Castan, please. Well, if you can spend them, well, obviously Castan has got the higher point ceiling. He's more likely to score more points. So it just depends whether you can afford to do it or not. Saka captain is just absolute lunacy. That's my phone. Anything interesting? Just Twitter. Right. Vardy and Phillips or Laka and Trent? Ooh. That's interesting. That's very interesting, in fact. You know what? Go Laka and Trent. Why not? Go Laka and Trent. Not that I particularly like Laka as an FPL pick, if I'm honest. Rudiger or Christensen? Go for Rudiger. Oh, by the way, guys, I know I normally do quick fire questions at the end of the stream. I'm not going to do it today because my voice is just not going to hold out talking quickly. It's just not going to happen this game week, I'm afraid. So I'll try and answer as many questions as I can, or like just throughout the stream, and try and talk as little as possible about my own team, I guess. Yeah, the quick fire, the 100 questions in 5 minutes just is not happening. Not happening. Saka or Smith Rowe? Saka. Trent or Phillips? I mean, if you can afford Trent, go for him. But if you're switching Phillips for Trent, that's gonna mean restructuring the entire rest of your team. It really is. Gundogan out, Jota in. That transfer, a lot of people are making that transfer. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because if Gundogan starts, and I don't think Gundogan will start, or at least I think it's unlikely that he'll start. I mean, it still could happen. If Gundogan starts, then actually he could have quite a nice score against Leeds. Well, on the other hand, Jota is just in such good form. You kind of want him, don't you? Is Bowen worth looking at coming for Antonio, seeing as he will play in his position? That's an interesting one, isn't it? It's an interesting shout. I hadn't really considered it, to be honest. But yeah, you're right, he will. He'll play a striker, won't he? There really isn't anyone else. Antonio's out for the rest of the season. You know what? I actually love that shout, Maybe I should do it. Should I go for Bowen instead of Lingard? Would that be the craziest thing in the world? Let's have a look. May as well have a look, guys. We're on the wild card. Why not? 17 minutes to go. We've got to have some last minute doubts in our minds. Otherwise, what kind of a wild card would it be? Gotta love it. In you come, Bowen. Let's have a look here. 5.9 million, so only slightly cheaper, which kind of begs the question: is it worth it? We scored twice in 2 games. I didn't actually know that. That is an interesting one. No, I do prefer Lingard. So that's yeah, we're not gonna get quite that stupid, I don't think. But no, Bowen is a really nice, interesting differential shout. I just don't think I'm prepared to go quite that differential. I've already got enough differentials here, haven't I? Really. Moldy is here. I didn't see you there, Moldy. How you doing, man? Sorry, been away. Busy with lots of Swedish homework. No worries, man. Nice to see you back. And I'm sure you'll be very disappointed in me to learn that I've got absolutely no Wolves players in my team, and I will not even be considering them. Of course, it's happy to help. I'm a Hull fan, so I know what he can do. Yeah, he did the business at Hull, didn't he? He was absolutely putting in some incredible numbers. He's putting some incredible numbers at certain points this season as well. To be fair, he's looked pretty good, generally speaking, since he's came in. But not better than Lingard, if we're honest. Lingard is just an absolute legend, an absolute heroic hero. Riyad Isawi says, "What's a 9 million forward do I go for long term? If you can get to Vardy, that would be pretty nice." Although he's a little bit more than that, isn't he? To be honest. Veltman versus Evans. Evans is the clear better choice if you can afford him. Alonso in for Cancelo. Maybe not this game week. No. Shaw or Fofana. Shaw probably. He's been great. Dan Bowen says, did I say Dan Bowen instead of Jared Bowen? Unless it's just my my cold obscuring my voice. Dan Bowen says, "Can confirm I will in fact be playing a striker for West Ham this weekend." So there you go. Bowen's playing. Bruno or Salah? Salah for me. Moldy says, "I've put Neto in my wildcard. I'm behind in my mini league due to not owning Lingard." So you're going to put against him. Got to bet against him, I guess. Come on. Can't bet against our man Lingard. Lingard is very quickly becoming a channel legend, you know. An absolute channel legend. Thoughts on Robertson as a punt? No, just get Alexander-Arnold. Don't even mess about with that one. Moldy says, "I went for Castan as well. Great pick." Yeah, I love it, man. It could be a really interesting one. I hope he can start getting some attacking returns as well now. Olivier says, "Bench Saka or Iheanacho." Neither, really. You should... Oh, yeah, you don't want to bench either of those guys. If I had to bench one, I guess I'd bench Saka. Yeah. Simon Smith says, "I've gambled on 3 Wolves and 3 Arsenal in my wild card." Okay. Now that's just ridiculous. That is just too much. That is too much. Simon, you've lost the plot, man. You've lost the plot. Moldy says, "No Lingard emotes ever, please." Tell you what, if Lingard scores more than 10 points for the 3rd game week in a row, this game week, then not only am I getting putting a Lingard emoji on the channel, I'll even put a Lingard emoji of him doing one of his maybe famous dances, maybe a little flute, maybe a dab, something like that. What was his other one? Millie Rock. So that'll be a fun one. What do you think about punt on Lacazette? Not too keen. Lacazette scores penalties. Yusuf Film says, "Castan hasn't had an attacking return since game week 3. Yes, I'm well aware. He has had some injuries, unfortunately, though. And also, his underlying numbers aren't that bad. He is, you can, and when you watch him as well, you can see that he's getting into attacking positions. He is trying to create some chances. He's playing quite well, I think, in general. And I do think attacking returns are certainly on the cards. So people talking about neck tattoos. There'll be no tattoos or neck tattoos of anything. Maybe I'll get Lingard. No, I'll get Raheem Sterling tattoo if he scores a hat trick for me this game week. I can't afford Castan. Please help. Get Fofana then. That's a good backup. Dan, Captain Vidra and top 100k will be yours. No. Sterling is the man. He's going to send me straight into top 100k. It's happening. Start holding on Iheanacho. Back the attacker, go for Iheanacho. What's your plan for next game week? It's going to be Sterling out, Heung-min Son in. 1 week early, Sterling for captain. Yes, love it. Start Forster or Mendy. Start Mendy. Sterling is dual hull. Absolutely, Darren. Dan should get Vardy for Richarlison and Nat Phillips for comeback. But I only have 0.6 million spare, and the first one I had. Nat Phillips in for comeback seems sensible, and Vardy in for Richarlison sounds sensible at all. I like that one. Adriel says you can only save one Lingard or your girlfriend. Tough one. No, obviously I'd save my girlfriend. Well, fiance. But I would not be happy about sacrificing Lingard. Dan, what's a good 1 week punt that is cheaper than Son? Mason Mount, maybe. James Maddison, maybe. I need help. What goalkeeper should I get for 4.8 million? That's a tricky one, actually. I don't know. I've not really looked at goalkeepers that cheap. Most of the goalkeepers I want is, well, you would be interested in are a little bit more expensive than that. You could still sort of think Leno, Schmeichel, Patricio, maybe. Probably not. Mendy, Martinez. Everyone is above 5 million. So I don't know. Thoughts on Aguero punt? Yeah, I like it. Like it a lot, in fact. I do like that one. Aguero could be interesting. For 1 week only. Or maybe 2 weeks only. He's certainly not a player I'd want long term because he's so expensive and so rotation prone. So it's a really tricky one. Mendy or Alisson? I prefer Mendy. Is Cancelo safe to play this game week? Probably. Victor has clearly been watching Mrs. FPL, mate, because he's asking should he go for Federer or Dyke? Which one do I bench? I would bench Dyke. I reckon Federer is good for this game week. Play Vidra or Fofana. Back the attacker. Go for Vidra. Is Aguero worth a punt? I think he's worth a 1 week punt for sure. For sure. Bernardo as a punt? Maybe. Not so keen on that one. Need a defender before deadline, Holding or Fofana? Go for Fofana. Fofana is a really good shout, you know. Leicester's defence is differential as well. It's a really nice one. Louis Ashton says, Dan was the first man on FPL to own Rafinha. I feel like I don't know if I was the first creator to own him, but I certainly have been hyping up Rafinha for a while. I do like him. A bit of a legend, and he's helped me a lot since I got him in as well. But it's time to go. He's gone now. Perhaps we'll bring Rafinha back in for the final couple of game weeks for a little swan song for the season. A backup keeper for 4.8 million. Oh, just go for a Fraser Forster then. Play Vidra or Neto. Genuinely Vidra. Not fully down with the Neto hype. It's an okay choice, but Vidra versus Newcastle looks quite nice, doesn't it? Neto or Jota captain. I don't think I'd be putting Neto anywhere near the captain's armband. It's Fulham, man. They're not that bad. Is Shaw injured? Will Stones play? Yeah, Shaw is probably not injured, and Stones probably will not play. Probably. So many mysteries. There's a lot of mystery at this end of the season, isn't there? Captain Lingardinho, thoughts? No, I don't like Lingard captain for this game week, but I do like Lingard. Can he get another 12-pointer? I hope so. I really hope so. Start Shaw or Watkins? Interesting one. I don't know. Probably maybe Shaw actually on that one. KDB or Lingard captain? KDB rotation risk. Lingard against Leicester is not an amazing fixture, if we're honest. Dan is the founder of Sofao and Rafinha. Yeah, Sofao I will definitely take. We were hyping up Sofao literally, you know, before game week. Well, when he just signed. Do you have COVID? No, I don't have COVID. I've got a cold. or something. I had COVID already last year, so I don't think I've got it twice. I hope I haven't got it twice. I don't feel that bad. Well, I mean, I felt worse yesterday and the day before. I'm certainly not going to be staying on stream for too long today because talking too much is not great for my throat. Anyway, doesn't matter. Christensen or Fofana? I like Fofana. I do like Fofana, you know. West Ham are second in the league table at home. Yeah, but their defence is not great. Leicester are in good form. Leicester's defence is quite good. So Antonio's missing, who sort of Antonio has a lot of hold up play for Lingard. So yeah, it's a tricky one. So we're really selling so far after hyping him up. Well, to be fair, I hyped him up, you know, sort of 5 months ago, a long time ago. I would not be desperate to keep so far if I had him, if I'm honest. I think you could happily sacrifice him. Dan has a Dorito next to him at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I really do. Any defence differentials? Fofana, Castan, Cedric, Phillips. Luke Shaw's not really differential, is he? You know, Rudiger, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Justine says quickfire. No quickfire today, I'm afraid. No. My voice can't hack it. My throat cannot hack it, I'm afraid. We'll do it next week. Don't worry. We'll be back. We'll be back. Back stronger. Shaw and Masuaku or Lindelof and Sofao. Maybe Shaw and Masuaku. That could be an interesting combo, you know. I like that. You only get ill when Antonio gets injured. Yeah, maybe. Vidra and Fofana or Castan and Brewster. Ooh, Vidra and Fofana. Nice. Go for those two. Sending eerie vibes from Jamaica, mate. Big up. I wish I knew what that meant, because that sounds like a really cool thing to say. That's something that I would like to incorporate into my own lingo. I'm guessing it means you're sending good vibes, so thank you, man. T-minus 4 minutes. We're that close. Well, 3 minutes. To maybe even 2 minutes by the time. Yeah, no quick fire, guys, I'm afraid. Not this week. Not feeling up to it. Next week, we'll be back with quickfire. Don't worry. Knuckles says, can we get a Millie Rock from Dan if Lingard scores a hat-trick? If Lingard scores more than 10 points, I'll be doing a Millie Rock on stream. And Lingard will become an emoji on the channel. That'll be pretty cool. J-Lings or Jota? Back your boy. Back your boy, J-Lings. Dan, you need a few Irish hot whiskies. That sounds disgusting. That sounds terrible. But thank you. Thoughts on Pepe Punt? It's fun. Pepe Punt is fun, you know. Dan, what's been your best captain punt this season? Well, it's got to be Gundogan triple captain, right? When he got 19 points. That was an absolutely insane touch, you know. We like that. Aguero differential captain? Yeah, I like it, man. Travis says, I could teach some Jamaican, mate. Teach me, man. Teach me. Alonso in. Love it. Start Vidra or Diaz? Probably. Ugh, that's tough. I don't know. I would say back the attacker usually. But Diaz is, you know, Man City with clean sheets is pretty good. Pretty sure bet most of the time. Messi, Lingard. That's it. Lingardinho. We love it. Jota or Saka? Jota for sure. Captain Laka or Sterling? Sterling for sure. Captain Gundogan or Jota? Ooh. Jota? I think Jota. Just because Gundogan, I don't know for 100% if Gundogan's going to start. I would say Jota probably does start. So yeah. Cedric or Holding? Cedric has just got a higher... Cedric is... Yeah, it's got a higher point ceiling. If you can afford Cedric very easily, then why not? it's a bit of fun. I've got a few fun differentials here, guys, and it's just going to be fun, guys. If one of my like major differentials plays really well, does the business, then you know, this is going to make it more fun for me playing FPL. It's going to give me more of a chance of boosting my rank. It's going to mean we can have more fun, more banter in the streams and in the videos. And guys, if Cedric scores this game week, you're all going to call me an absolute genius. Probably won't happen, but if it does, you'll call me a genius. It won't be true. I won't be a genius. It would just be I just got lucky. But no, I would not completely, because, you know, it's based a little bit on stats. If Sterling scores, then we're going to be absolutely partying, aren't we, guys? We'll be partying. Rudiger, Fofana or Veltman to start? Probably Rudiger. Vardy or Iheanacho captain? Go for Vardy if we're talking captains. Oh, the deadline's gone. I think it has, isn't it? I hope I saved my team. I did. Thank Christ. Well, there we go, guys. Wowza, Rooney. We're in. The Sterling captain is locked. The wild card is locked. Everything is done. How exciting. Oh man, I can't wait. I love the week after a wild card so much. Yeah, it's just sick. Guys, I do want to know who you're all captaining though before I go off, because this is a really interesting game week for captains. So guys, whether you are first time viewer, commenter, whatever, just put one word in the chat. Who have you captained in game week 31? Let me hear it, because I reckon it's going to be. I reckon there's going to be some differentials. I reckon there's going to be a wide variety. Last game week was just everyone was on Kane, weren't they? So it was a bit boring. But this game week, I reckon we've got some fun ones, right? Deadline gone to Bomberclart. Well, no, that one means. May the Dorito odds be ever in your favour. That's it, mate. So, yeah, the captains are running along in this chat. Oh, we got some fucking... Oh, I almost... I actually swore there. I have to apologise. I try not to do that in videos, even though I do it very much in real life. We got this Sterling gang absolutely in... we're going absolutely crazy with Sterling captains, and I absolutely love that. I love how many of you guys have gone for the Sterling captain. That is awesome. We ride and die together, guys, don't we? We ride and die together. It's what we're all about. But we got some De Bruyne's. We've got Aubameyang, Kane, Iheanacho, Chris Wood. That's an interesting one. Salah, I think, is probably a sensible pick, to be fair. Sterling, Travis captain me. I wouldn't captain me this game week, I'll tell you that. Guerrero captain, love that. Love that. Jossa captain, yeah, I can imagine a few. I do love how many of you guys are going for the Sterling captain. I love that we have this community here of going for these differential captains together. We did Rafinha last game week, it didn't work out. Some other game weeks it has worked out. We've got a few pretty good ones recently, haven't we? But Sterling's the one. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it. Naughty language alert. 18 plus stream. There it is, guys. Demonetized. Lacazette there. Vardy. Sterling. Salah. Let's talk FPL also dropped the F-bomb in the last 5 minutes. No way. Ah, well. Great minds swear alike. It's so annoying. I think that is genuinely the first time I've accidentally, not to draw more attention to it, that's probably not the greatest idea, but I don't think I've ever sworn in a video or stream ever. Well, I mean on this YouTube channel anyway. Oh. Right, guys. Interesting to see your captains. Lots of Sterlings, which surprises me. A few Kanes, De Bruyne's, Salah's. Nice. A wide variety. I am going to get off just because I don't know for how much longer my voice is going to hold out. It seems to be getting worse and worse as the stream goes on. Yeah. And I do want to be able to talk tomorrow. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Good luck with all of your wild cards if you're on them. Good luck with your captains. Good luck with your transfers. I hope everything goes pretty well for you guys. I hope you have a fantastic game week, basically. And for those of you joining me on the Sterling captain, you guys, I wish you guys the most luck. Of all of the people, I wish the Sterling captainers, I wish you the most luck. So, yes, thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Well, I don't know. We'll stream on Monday, maybe. Probably. Right. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.